Welcome back to our RPL webinars. In our session today, we're going to take a look at the Recognition of Prior Learning course, and specifically we're going to look at Section A in completing the self-assessment. So as we know, when you go into aXcelerate, you get your welcome message here where you can download information about the course, including your student handbook. And we can click there to get started. And of course, we're going to go Course Overview, Learning Plan to find our content. Now we can see that progressing through the course here, the recognition of prior learning declaration has been completed by our student here, and it's also been marked. So that now means it opens up the rest of the RPL sections that you can access. Now don't forget, this must be marked by your trainer before the rest of the course opens up. So we can see here that our current student has had a go at completing some of these aspects. So you can see that our student has jumped into section B and had a look around. We can tell that because it says in progress here, and we've also got the little play button that says in progress, and the same for section C as well. So our student has jumped in and had a good look around, which is great. Now we can also see that our student here has tried to submit already section A, but there was just some information missing, so they just need to go back in and have another look. So let's unpackage section A and see exactly what it is all about. So you can see the feedback that has happened from the previous submission from the student, and it's just stating please complete the self-assessment form and resubmit. So the student completed an empty form and submitted it, unfortunately. So when we go in, we can see some information here about the general RPL process, and some information about exactly what the RPL process is all about, and specifically each of the steps. So here we go. So we've got complete section A, the self-assessment and third-party report. It also gives us a bit of brief information about section B and section C as well. So let's press on Start Attempt. And we can see here what we need to do. So the self-assessment and third-party report are used by the candidate to commence the recognition of prior learning process. Complete the details on the form, including the professional referee details. Tick in the space provided on the form if you believe that you have successfully performed the tasks in the tables. And then write a comment, including examples of this as experience. Your referee will review the listed recognition of prior learning evidence and completed caregiver pathway assessments in collaboration with you. Your referee will tick in the space provided if you've performed the task listed, and they may also add written comments or feedback. So you can find the self-assessment and the third-party report just here. So let's take a look. So that's going to come up at the bottom of the screen there. So let's just click on that and see what it actually says. So I'm just going to press the enable editing button at the top there. There we go. Okay, so we've got our section A self-assessment. So we just need to pop in obviously your name, so you're the candidate. And now it's also asking you for professional referee details. So this will generally be your trainer and assessor for whichever franchise office you're at. So their name, workplace, phone and email address. And then we also need to know what qualifications they hold that relate to community and health training. So ideally, if they've got the Certificate 3 in individual support themselves, or perhaps a higher level qualification, we just need to know that there. And we also need to know your trainer's individual in-home care experience. So have they worked directly as a caregiver as well? Then what is your caregiver's professional relationship to you? So it would probably be a student-trainer relationship. And then how long have you known the caregiver? So how long has your trainer known you for? So ideally to be doing the recognition of prior learning process, hopefully you've been with Home Instead for over 12 months, and you need to have accrued at least 200 hours of work placement hours and have evidence of that. And ideally those hours should include personal care. They should include looking after clients living with dementia, And they should also have a good solid relevance to workplace health and safety, so an understanding of being able to complete things like instant forms, hazard forms, and using the aLICare app as well. So let's take a look at this form and what it's actually asking. So this is a self-assessment for yourself. So what it's asking is for you to basically align your skills and your knowledge to every part of the Certificate 3 in individual support. So as we know, there's 13 units of competency within the Certificate 3, and it's asking you to review every single one of those 13 units and make a statement about whether you agree that you can achieve the elements and practice performance criteria that's actually listed there. So let's take a look at this in detail. So we've got this column here that says candidate self-assessment. So this is where you need to go down and tick, essentially, to say that you agree that you can complete each of these tasks. So this first one is workplace health and safety, so follow safe work practices for direct client care. And the first point is saying, can you follow safe work practices for direct client care? So if you think you can either put a yes or you can tick in the box and just make a statement to say yes, you align your skills and your knowledge with the requirements for the Cert 3. And again, follow safe work practices for manual handling. Well, hopefully yes you do. I mean, you've done a manual handling course, you stayed up to date, and if perhaps there's any aspects of manual handling, perhaps using a hoist or something like that you're not sure of, that you've gone and asked your trainer and you've obtained more training in. So you need to do that and fill out right the way down throughout the whole of this page and this assessment, just aligning again your skills and your education. Now once you've done that, you need to pass it on to your trainer. So this is the trainer that knows you, the trainer that has provided those details at the top of the form there, and then they need to make a statement to say whether they agree with your comments. So hopefully your trainer will say, actually yes, I do agree that you can follow safe work practices for direct client care. Now either yourself or your trainer may also wish to make a comment in the comments and feedback box, and that's absolutely fine. If you wanted to make a generic statement that relates to the overall title of the unit of competency as opposed to each individual point, then that's absolutely fine. So perhaps you might want to put in here, I abide by all policies and procedures for home instead. You could pop that in there and that would be perfectly adequate. So let's just take a look at some of the other units of competency. So we've got comply with infection prevention and control policies and procedures, provide individualised support, and so on and so forth for our 13 units of competency. So once again, we're going to be ticking yourself in the candidate self-assessment and then passing it on to your referee to complete that as well. Now at the end there is a little declaration that you just need to complete, so you just need to pop your signature in here and the date, and then also your referee needs to sign that as well. So what's going to happen after that? Well, we can save that document, so we can go File, Save As. Now please make sure that you pop your name in here. So I'm going to use a made up student's name, there we go, Jane Doe, and save it to whoever's relevant. I'm going to save it to my desktop, there we go. Beautiful. Now I can come out of that. And I need to upload it. Okay, so I'm back in aXcelerate now. Now, do you remember we said that whenever we get a text box, we actually need to put something in there, just make a comment. Otherwise, unfortunately, our trainer won't be able to see any submissions that we actually have submitted. So I'm just going to put the student's initials there, Jane Doe, and we can go ahead and upload our file. Now we've got the list of file types there, but the preferred ones are generally Word documents. So just click on Browse Files and it will open up our options. So let's go to Desktop and I'm going to click on the third-party report that I've just completed. There we go. Now I can see it says complete there. So I'm going to press Save. So please make sure you do press Save, otherwise once you go out of here you will have lost your whatever it is that you've uploaded. Now I can see that that's uploaded there because that's the document that we've just completed, and I'm happy with that. I've completed everything that the assessment is asking me to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press submit assessment. Okay, now it's asking me now just to sign on a student declaration. So I confirm that the work submitted is my own. None of this work has been completed by another person. So I'm going to sign my life away, there we go, and press submit assessment. And there we go, so that is section A has now been submitted. Okay, so assessment submitted, and I can either continue or I can exit and go back to my home page. There we go. Okay, so I can check that it's actually gone off. I can click on my assessment results. I'm just going to have a quick look at submitted. There we go. There's section A. I can see that it's now gone off to my trainer to be marked.